Love that.
Yeah.
Always on time. Unless your name is Sam Baker. What's up?
We're live. Oh, heck yeah, guys.
All right, welcome to episode 23 of Happy Hour. And I'm going to kick it off with Cam, Will, and Ross.
Yeah, hey, what's up? We got Will and Ross in here today.
I think this one should be appropriately named A Song of Ice and Fire.
It's been a crazy past week. We've had, how much snow would you say on average?
I mean,
6 to 8 inches somewhere?
I would say it was like 8 or 9 the first time, and then maybe like 2 the next. So what, 10?
Out in Darien Prairie, too, they got hammered like way heavier than a lot of us did.
Yeah.
It's been rough.
Yeah.
We did probably 4 or 5 inches of snow plus 2 inches of ice that first one. And then, dude, we got a ton the second go around, like 4 inches of snow the second. And it didn't last long, but it was like, oh my God.
Apparently, we're supposed to be getting a second wave of it, too.
A third wave?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's supposed to be like it's recirculating and pushing everything down from the north. Like it's like basically just like funneling again.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Let's see how many inches of salt we get.
Yeah,
Sure it'll
no
be record
kidding.
breaking.
All right, so do we want to go ahead and intro our BDRs?
Yeah. So a reason why I wanted Will and Ross joined us so kindly as well is because they have just been on fire recently with their new clients. I think, Ross, you're in month 2. Colin?
Starting like month 3, but month 2 with a full book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Will is in his first full month with a full book of business there. And they're just absolutely lighting the world on fire. So I wanted to take a quick look and what you guys, you see, I snuck that in. I just want to see what you guys kind of credit your success to, how you found, early success, so quickly.
I think it's just really perseverance and just being able to take it in a sense.
Yeah.
Because I think if you want to have a high close rate, you got to have those dials in there where they're not going well.
Right.
And you got to, and if you get discouraged by that, you're just gonna kind of deflate.
You got to work the process.
Yeah.
Honestly, the way you guys set it up, you put it out there to where everything just is a process. And if you follow that process and make it your own, success comes your way.
Yeah. Everyone's version kind of looks slightly different. Some have preferences here and there and make subtle changes. But yeah, for the most part, people are working the pipeline and, success is sort of inevitable at that point. It was funny, Will, you mentioned you've got to kind of just grit your teeth and jump in and start ripping dials, especially when you're starting a pipeline. I mean, you're sourcing the data, right? Figure out who to talk to,
thousands of clients.
what's going
thousands
on,
of contacts.
blah, blah, blah. But being persistent, man, that's the trick. When you know that success is on the horizon line, and if you keep just fighting the good fight, eventually, day by day, dial by dial, you'll get there.
Yeah.
And the only way you improve is by failing, right? If you just go through and everyone says yes, it's like, well, how do I get better? And when you fail, it's the only way where it's immediately obvious. It's like, oh my God, the goal went so bad. You know exactly what you need to fix. But have you had any of those moments yet with your new client? Where you're like, okay, I'm going to lose that number.
A couple of my clients are already green. Let's just say that everybody in Terre Haute's, I think, got a bad service provider.
Sure,
so I call them and they're like, oh yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So that's been easy.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I've had a few manic calls.
Yeah.
Not on my end, the person I was talking to. And you just gotta roll through the punches and just say, hey, it is what it is. You gotta there's gonna be a few of those in the batch, and there's gonna be a few good ones in the batch.
Funny. I tell people all the time I'm not a huge fan. We have bashed Gary Vee on this podcast, and I will continue to do so until he shows up. But I'm not a huge fan of those YouTube gurus, Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, but they each have a nugget or two.
Right.
And the one from Gary Vee that I like the most is spend less time talking to people who don't want to talk to you. Spend more time talking to people who want to talk to you.
Yeah, that's good.
It seems simple, but as a BDR or SDR, if you spend more time just talking to people who actually want to talk to you, may or may not have a need, but they want to talk to you.
Yeah.
It's way better than spinning your wheels, looking at a note, staring at a record that's like, oh, dude, this guy's eviscerated the last 14 people who have called him. I think I'm good. I'll just go to the next one. But what about you, Ross? Persistence, any stories about you just kind of trucking through or good calls you've had so far?
Yeah, I actually had one that really paid off. I've been talking to a guy out in Sacramento. I got a hold of him like the very first week I started calling for this client, and finally got that appointment last week and ended up getting 2 appointments out of it. Him and his wife are a power couple, and they both own their own companies.
Wow.
And she's having active cybersecurity issues, so he's going out there this morning to talk to both of them because he's got a current vendor he's waited months for them to finish projects he's asked for, and
Wow.
we're gonna go to also see what we can do to help retrieve lost data for his wife because she's got a separate company.
That's awesome.
So she's actively under attack.
Yeah, she's losing data.
Oh, wow.
They were only using Dropbox and I think Outlook.
Wow.
No server, but they were running the whole company off of it.
I mean, that's it. If you're on a public server, public domain, anything internet based, you're susceptible. So
Not secure.
that's crazy. And both of you guys, within your first 60 to 90 days with full book of business and clients. So, I mean, that's crazy. That's huge. Great traction just starting out. But we're going to have you riding shotgun for this pod. So happy to have you. And what do we have next on deck here?
Yeah, we can go into sales development rundown. How are the SDRs doing with you?
Yeah, man. I think that's fitting name for the podcast today. Will mentioned it. Song of Ice and Fire. So all of last week we worked remote. It was crazy. We're a hybrid company now, so we work from home on Wednesdays. But that just rolled out here in January. So the very first week we had an option to do it. We got snowed and iced out for a week. A couple of new hires that I had, Clay and Brandon. Clay Comores coming back, returning from an internship stint with us. So we're really excited to have him. Brandon started with us. He is leaving an IT company down in Texas. So he comes already with a little bit of experience as a BDR for a well-established IT company down there. So very lucky to have a couple of talented individuals joining us. But for their first 3 days here, we didn't have a computer. We were snowed out. Couldn't get them a computer to their house. So we dove deep. We were on Teams. We were screen sharing. They were listening to calls. We were going through virtual orientation. It's kind of funny. Like the SDRs just popped off. Popped off all the snow week. Sam sold, I think it was like 6 deals, 7 deals last week.
He called it too.
Yeah. So it was awesome. Weeks like last week remind me of how agile this company is, how quickly we can respond to adversity. And then also, just make sure we get the job done despite, the situation.
Yeah.
Whether it was the BDRs, we had a historic week. I think the most appointments we had ever scheduled in a week, or maybe one of the top weeks we'd ever had, in addition to new business absolutely popping off. So, great title for the name of this episode, Song of Fire and Ice.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. Moving forward, it looks like Nick Statuto joined the room.
What's
Nick,
up?
Nick, you want to jump in there?
Nick, come on in.
Yeah.
I'll get you over there. Get you over there.
We got the big hitters out today.
The big hitters. That's it. There you go.
Hello, everybody.
How you doing?
What's going on, man?
Oh, fine. How are you?
We're good. We're
good,
good.
man.
Glad to have you on.
Thank you.
Glad to have you on. So was there something specific you wanted to share with us here? You just want to get a little FaceTime?
Wanted to talk a little bit about last week.
Yeah.
So I looked at, on Thursday, I was tied with Justin Webb for the most Arsenal appointments for the week at 5. I don't know how it ended.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Good
excellent
start.
week for me last week.
Killing it.
Strong.
Booked appointments for companies in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Greenville, South Carolina, Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska. And a lot of these appointments were very turn a no into a yes, or turn a call me back later into a yes. Why don't you call me back tomorrow? Hey, I can get you on an appointment with our director of sales, Sam, tomorrow at this time. Why don't I send you an email invite? The Nebraska one was particularly challenging. I was playing tug of war with that guy because he was like, I don't like companies that do this or that. And I thought that I was about to lose the appointment, and somehow I reeled it back in. I don't even know what you just have to listen to the call.
It's called
but
finesse.
Finesse.
Use that finesse.
Yeah.
No, Nick's got that persistence. He has some finesse for sure, but he's got persistence.
Yeah.
It is. I couldn't tell you how many calls where the decision maker says, Nick, your persistence is the reason why I'm taking this meeting right now.
And that's it's as long as it's well received.
It's also how we hired him.
Yeah.
We hired him. I think you were coming from a restaurant.
Yes.
Restaurant field, restaurant industry, similar to you.
Yeah.
And, he came and interviewed, and Aaron at that time was doing everything. So he would, find someone, have them in, do the interview, and then, he needed some time to think about it. And so Nick called him and left a voicemail. And did you leave 2 or 3?
I don't recall, but I did, leave a voicemail, leave an email, just like I do now.
Yep. And I remember you started adding people on LinkedIn and shooting them notes about, what it's like to work there. Or...
That's not quite what happened, but Sam Baker and I had a mutual friend, and so when she brought up that she knew him, I convinced her to give him a little nudge. And that led to the second interview, and then I was hired. The second interview was with Laura, and then I was hired the day after the second interview.
It's funny. I remember that because Aaron came to the floor and it was like, this Nick Statuto guy, he keeps reaching out. He really, really wants to work here. Let's have him come back in. And everyone's like, sure. Yeah. If he's calling you that hard now for the gig, then surely that's what he's going to do once he gets it. And sure enough, it's exactly what you do. And Sam was talking about your appointments today where it's like, just like everyone else, not all of them show up all the time. You can't control that.
Actually, with the roofing and HVAC industries,
we're talking about Arsenal appointments from Sam, right? So it's about a global 50% show rate. But he was telling me he knows when one of your guys show up, he knows that it's going to be a good meeting. Like they're already engaged, they're asking questions. So yeah, man, your persistence pays off because it builds relationships where, we wouldn't have found it otherwise.
So the one that I booked this morning actually came through from an email, a roofer in Spokane, Washington. And the last client that I was able to close from an appointment, we booked that same way. They booked the appointment with Sam through the email, and I didn't know about it until after he had already sent the email to Sam, of course. So that is a sign of good things to come, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those lead weights, sometimes they take you really far. I think I have better luck with lead weights than I have with warm leads.
Yeah,
because a lead weight is like they think they're getting you off the phone, like, oh yeah, I'll just email me, just call me back next week. I'm taking that as the door is cracked.
Still open, yeah.
So when I come back to you, I don't have to waste time pitching you like we haven't talked before, like we're making an introduction. I cut straight through that, and then we get to the point, and they realize eventually, like, oh, this is actually something that I can utilize. I think it just takes you a little bit further when you have that introduction already, and especially if you're persistent with calling them back, it really takes you far.
Add the step to it. As I add the step to it, though, too, if you put that hawk in front of them, they have everything right there.
Yep.
So they can check out the website and all the different industries and just run it.
And that's what I think this last client, this last potential client did, or at least he did have some questions, if nothing else, and so he felt like that was enough of a reason to book the appointment. Now,
it surely is.
The guy that we closed the deal with, the HVAC contractor in Oklahoma City, he apparently had already been watching our podcasts.
Oh, that's even better.
I love that. Yeah. Well, hey, shout out him. Check us out. You're getting name dropped on the pod, so thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. But yeah, that's Nick Statuto, everybody. When I think of someone who's persistent, I always think of Nick. It always comes to mind first. So that's awesome. Glad to have you on the pod today with us. What do we got next?
All right, moving forward, we have proposals and closed deals. And actually, since we have Ross with us, we could talk about some of the proposals he has out with his MSP clients.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. I've gotten a couple out, guys out in Kansas City. We got one out for, I believe it was $2,500 monthly reoccurring with a dental office. I actually followed up with them today. They've been busy with the holidays. I'm going to follow up with them later in the month. And then a client out in Albuquerque, they actually have two out right now. One with an HVAC company. It's got a project that I believe was about $9,000 for new hardware and updating everything. And then it had two options where it was about $900 and some change for monthly reoccurring, or like another option was $2,500 depending on what they wanted to do and how much they want us to be involved. And then we also have another one with a psychologist office out there in Albuquerque too. They're with a current client, and their client got bought out by a large headquarters company out of state. So they're not happy, but they want us to come in there, update everything. So we gave them a project proposal for $39,000 and some change, and they're wanting to talk further about us even taking over their vendor when they get out of this contract later in the year. So that's going to pay dividends there too. And we're going to actually go talk to them tomorrow.
And that's within basically an introductory window for getting the pipelines. So it's like, that's right off the rip.
It's huge.
You out of here? All right, man.
All right.
Well, thanks for
Thank you
stopping
joining
by.
us,
Take
Nick.
it easy.
Nick Statuto, everybody. If you're looking to pick up, a little extra sales help, check out Nick's interview video on the website. He is available.
And you can also call me at
Let's go.
314-720-8097.
I promise he'll call
Shameless
you back.
plug.
I
Shameless
promise
plug.
he'll call you back. You know he will. Nick Statuto, everybody. Thank you.
Not to correct you too, though, but Will does have 2 open slots as well.
Yeah, I've got some open slots.
That's right.
He's got 4.
4 out of 6. That's right.
I'm working them like it's
Wow,
full,
wow,
but
wow.
yeah.
Are you,
got some
You're
space.
having a hell of a first month.
I'm trying. I mean, we're 1 week in. I mean, if we're already setting records for most appointments in like a week, this is
Start
the first
ripping.
full week of the year.
Well, you're at 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, 8 now.
So
Yeah.
the best way to let Sam know you've got a spot is to book him a couple meetings.
Yeah, yeah. Get
him
back
in
on
there.
the Arsenal.
I think
app
Ryan Kattenberger set one appointment and it closed, and that client picked him.
and just picked them.
yeah, like what
See, that's the fun thing about, especially when you got room for business. It's like you
literally-
pitch yourself.
that's
You're not
literally
only pitching the
perfect.
company.
Yeah.
You're pitching yourself as well. That's an opportunity for them and for you.
So real quick here, I guess Matt, when was the last day we did any proposal updates? It had to be like January 3rd, right?
Yeah, off the top of my head, I would say.
Okay, so quickly, just to know, because we didn't do the podcast since we were, iced and snowed out. So we didn't really get a chance to share the fire in the chat, but there's a lot. One of our clients, I forget, we're allowed to use client names, yeah?
Yeah, client names are good.
Okay, cool. So our client .net got out 6,500 monthly recurring proposal, Avenir 767 MRR, Petronella Group, big group that we've got multiple markets. They got out a 73,000 annual recurring revenue deal while we were out. Boundless got a proposal 2,200 monthly recurring. Vital Integrators, 2 different proposals, one for 7,900, one for 1,550 MRR, $15,500, 7,900 MRR. Onyx Fire got out a project for 18,000. Onyx Fire also got out a double proposal meeting. This was today. First meeting was at 39,000. They requested some changes, so they're looking at a $52,000 project.
Sheesh.
Chef's been killing it.
And there's some other ones not mentioned in the chat, obviously, but that's like a week's worth
Right.
of proposals and deals, and we didn't even go over roofing yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's all IT, right?
That is all IT. So some of the roofing and other client service. We've got Camp Construction. They've got 7 proposals out, totaling 1.3 million. We've got Meadow Springs out for a re-roof, 48,000. Maintenance plan, $5,000 a month. Another proposal out for a re-roof, a little over $250,000. Exact Interiors got out a proposal on a re-roof, $380,000. Blue Collar Roofing got a partial re-roof quote out for $61,000. And then Service Master Baltimore just got out 2 more proposals at 4,400 MRR and 1925 MRR. That's insane.
That is nice.
That's insane. I don't know what the running total of that would be.
I know, I'm trying to do the math.
For 1 week. But that's absolutely incredible work. Yeah. And obviously, we say it a lot. It's not just like we manifest these appointments and we can just spontaneously combust a deal. A lot of this is, kind of what Ross and Will mentioned and Nick, where it's like, persistent follow-up leads to an appointment, and then you're following up on a proposal and you're asking them when they're ready to buy, if it's in budget, if the timing's right, if you have the authority. So there's this ingredients, there's this environment that it kind of requires to get a deal through, especially when you're talking about, a $250,000 re-roof or, $72,000 annual recurring deal for IT. But, it just happens. And so when you turn it off, it's like you're losing all of that momentum. Mm-hmm. We preach that to clients all the time. It's not something we can just manifest. It takes time to build up the pipeline and then generate business. So in 1 week's worth, I was very impressed by seeing some of those numbers come through, especially while we were working from home. Yep. It's awesome.
Yeah, as the new year kind of rolled in, it's just the floodgates have been opening. Our guys are going crazy.
It was actually funny. I think a lot of people got kind of antsy to get ready for the holidays, Christmas and the New Year's. But I was running the numbers over those weeks. We had really good weeks over Christmas and New Year's. And then, after the New Year turned over and then our snow week, it's just been like we're on a roll. It's good.
I got 2 clients green last week.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice.
Yeah. Was that in the first week, second week?
I think same here. Yeah, I got some green last week as well.
You got one in like 1 day, didn't you?
No, I think it might have been 2 days. I was doing
2 back to back. So I got 1 client green. I think it was Wednesday, and then the next day on Thursday, I had the other one green.
3 appointments. Bang. Yeah. Bang. It's nuts.
Yeah, we need a gunshot sound effect now. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Pow. All right. Actually, have you seen that thing?
What? No,
it's gone viral. So we need to have a lady in here with us. But apparently, girls don't know how to make a machine gun sound. So,
but they can do the Cardi B noises.
Yeah, exactly. So if I asked you, Matt, what does a machine gun sound like? Yeah, exactly. Right? Any of those? Fine.
Those are
apparently they go pow 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 or pew 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 pew
pew pew.
That is not it.
That's not it. The South Park line is like, no, Kenny, that's not how a gun sounds.
That's a semi-automatic. Sorry, there's a difference.
That's funny.
This is steamy Ray-Ban.
Yeah. God, I love that show.
Yeah, right. I guess we could use that to move into current events because they always do. Yeah,
current events.
What's going on?
Obviously, the snow,
fire and ice.
We've kind of talked about that. Ice. Oh my God. I don't know if you guys have your own snow story, but just a little gripe. I mean, my townhouse, they've got maintenance. They came in, they plowed.
Lucky you.
No, not lucky.
Saying earlier,
they made like ice banks and snow banks behind my car.
Yeah.
What's the point of paying for a premium place to live and they come in and plow it for you and then they leave me buried in the snow?
Man, who did?
Yeah. What is going on? So that's my complaint. I was stuck in the house with a sick kid and a cooped up wife for 9 straight days. So finally one day I asked my neighbor to borrow their spade and I dug out the ice and I drove just to the gas station. And it's just like, guys, you're the first people I've seen.
Yeah, and then you just sit there for an hour and talk to the cash register.
They were like, okay,
for a while, yeah.
Can I get gas or you need anything? I'm like, no, dude, I just
So how are you, man? What's going on?
What about you guys for the snow day?
Well, I had that whole week. My son got an extra week of
winter vacation. Yeah.
So there was like one day I was talking to Joe and like in the background, my son was like, Dad, I need you to look up overalls and suspenders because he's been obsessed with Titanic. So he wants to look like Jack from the Titanic. But he was like in the background, like, so if I do this plus shipping, what's that? What's this at? What's tax? It was so funny, but it was like we did that for a while.
Yeah.
He was probably loving it though.
He was
got
loving
the week off.
But he played Minecraft and had fun, but he got to a point where he's like, all right, I want to do something else.
All right, yeah. See,
yeah.
And that's because I think he's just so mature for his age.
He is mature.
Really is.
And it's like anybody who's got mind functioning at a high level is like, all right, this has been enough time. Let's we got to get out of here.
I know he's still little, but are any of his interests ever like, all right, buddy, what about soccer? Or like, because I think last time I talked to you, it was like he was on the tiny house kick. And now he's talking about overalls and suspenders. He's one stick and a bandana away from like a train obsession. And like,
just start hitchhiking.
Living down by the river, so.
So there was a time where he kept telling me he wanted me to get like a tiny house on wheels.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that would have been a reality if I followed everything he asked me to do. But if you ask him, he'll flat out, it's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? He's like, I want to be an engineer or I want to draft.
All right.
So he's on the right path.
Your North Star is still shining bright. That's perfect.
If you want a history lesson on the Carpathia or any of the sister ships of the Titanic, the Britannic,
has he learned about the insurance fraud scam yet?
Oh, right.
Where they swapped the names. And the Olympia was the one that sank. Not
he
the
will tell you about that as well.
So he knows. Oh, he knows what's up.
He's very hip to it, and it's funny because out of a 6-year-old's mouth, he's like, "Yeah, the Carpathia." It's just like, what are we talking about right now?
I think that's impressive. He knows what they told us, and then he knows the truth too. So that's pretty cool.
He's already going down rabbit holes that he doesn't even understand.
Show him Alex Jones. See what he thinks. Hey, buddy, you want the real truth? Something about frogs, Dad? Frogs?
Oh man.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. So yeah, I guess while it was icing here, snow, we concluded at least 10 to 12 inches across the St. Louis metro region. We still crushed it from home. We had a historic week. We closed 6 deals. 2 new hires get trained up without computers. They hit the phones heavy on Thursday. So while we were having fun dialing, I guess the entire LA Metro's on fire.
Going crazy, yeah.
That's crazy.
They're having issues too, where I think they said that their infrastructure was damaged to where they can't even get water to put things out.
They used up all their reservoir water. Someone claims to have seen rays of light at nighttime in the general area that the fires were started. Eerily similar to the Hawaii story or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was it one of the things that they were saying was like anything that was blue was unaffected?
All the blue roofs were fine.
Yep, some of that stuff going on. The wind blowing, I guess, in the perfect direction.
It's gusting.
There was
wicked.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the fire tornado?
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it was like at the peak of a mountain tip where the wind was swirling, created a vortex of fire.
Just everything, heat rises, that updraft.
Kind of crazy. And then, half the country's in a foot of snow or more. But
it was like, a month or so ago, too, on the East Coast? Like, they were having the weird drone things going on the East Coast, like a month or so ago, too?
Yeah. It's bizarre.
And it just goes away after a month.
Bizarre. And here we are in Missouri, just chilling.
Yeah, just chilling.
Just
Midwest.
chilling. Not trying to be part of any of that.
Well, nobody thinks it's going to be them until it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
All the people in California, I guess some fires were quickly approaching, so people just left their cars in the middle of the road, and some of those were unaffected. Some people just left their houses unlocked and unaffected, and now they're all getting looted. And yeah, it's crazy.
I did see that. Yeah,
it's crazy. Well, yeah, you leave your car running in the middle of the road. I feel like it doesn't matter where you're at, somebody's gonna take it.
If it's not this,
it's in the middle of the road. Come on.
Like Walking Dead vibes.
Not nuts. I guess what other current events?
Current event wise, that's really what's sweeping the
Hulk
nation
Hogan
right
got
now.
booed.
Oh yeah,
I heard that too.
At the Netflix WWE special.
Oh,
it's kind of shocking.
Elon Musk is not as great at Path of Exiles as he says he is. That's also in the news right now.
Come on, Elon.
Got a boosted account,
Poser.
Booster.
You're a billionaire.
Booster.
You can play for however many hours you want, man. Just log your 200 hours, get your account up. You don't have to be insecure.
That's actually crazy. I wonder what Elon would do with 200 hours.
Probably play Diablo.
Crazy stuff. Diablo 5. What number are they on now? 3, 4? 4?
Or is it 5?
I think
No, I think it was 4, right?
I think it's 4.
Because it went console on the 4th.
Yeah.
Correct.
I saw that.
They're still making DLC and pushing that cow, though.
That's crazy. Good for them. Do it. It's like GTA.
I was gonna say I'm waiting.
Sticks around
Skyrim
for 20 years and then they crank out a new one.
Meanwhile, I'm waiting for Skate 4.
Where's it at though? Come on.
I don't. Apparently, it's gonna be free to play, and it's gonna be all microtransactions.
Well, so then how's it different
I
than
don't
Skate
care.
3?
I don't care.
You can play it on new game
New
systems. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody wants Skate 2, but apparently that's the only one you can't get.
Did you see the one I sent you the other day? They're redoing, and it's under a different title, but it's like basically Guitar Hero and Rock Band.
Is it Clone Hero?
I don't remember
That
the
was
name
one
of
them
it.
for a second.
Yeah, no, this is like new. They're making a new guitar, and it's like you have frets here and frets up, higher, and it actually like folds and opens up. They're like, yeah, we took the old tech and we're making it new, and it's coming out on Xbox and PS5. It actually looks cool.
I was gonna say, we'll see. No. I mean, took the world by storm when it first.
Guitar Hero was sweet.
Yeah, we're trying to get that here.
Yeah. Dude,
I brought it up
totally
to Aaron, and Aaron was like,
Hero.
you know what? Yeah, remind me about that.
That would be sweet.
Get the new one.
Get some duels going out.
Oh,
yeah,
that'd be cool.
Medium only though, guys.
Medium only.
Just a little bit of pinky.
The second you start adding that pinky, dude, it gets hard.
That's my
Talking
favorite.
to a bunch of musicians here. We got to add that pinky, man.
I say, man, I'm not playing until I'm on hard at least.
No, bro. Even on hard, I'll still use 3 fingers. I'll just slide.
Dude, well, the problem is like it doesn't match up with the song.
No.
Right.
So that's what drives you nuts.
I've always wondered that. I'm not a musician, but I've always been like, man, that's bullshit. Where's that in the song? That's true, right?
They don't translate.
No,
Bro, I always thought that.
at least on Expert, it like translates with at least the beat.
What's
Yeah,
your
yeah.
strum pattern?
Repetition.
What's
too.
your favorite song to play on Guitar Hero? Any of them? Rock Band, Guitar Hero.
I think one of my favorites is probably what's that Kill Switch song?
And a Heartache or
one.
My Curse.
My Curse.
That
There
was-
we are. That's one of my favorites on there.
I would
on
have to
Hero
say
3.
either My Name is Jonas by Weezer.
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
one.
It's just a banger.
Yeah.
And Blue Oyster Cult, City on Fire.
Oh, that one's good too.
I liked
just
Cliffs
fun.
of Dover.
Cliffs
That's
of
a fun
Dover is a
too.
really fun one.
Yeah.
Everyone always tried to get through the Fire and Flames.
It's just as long as you sit there and just
Yeah. Spam it.
yeah.
Yeah. I was the same way.
You got to cheat to win that game.
I'm gonna end up
On
on like
Expert.
It's true.
Yeah.
We did.
Like
That's
you see
funny.
those streamers, they're not playing that for real.
Who's
They
that?
got a slowed down version.
a one kid
Is that
that has
true?
fingers bleeding. Yeah, they just
What?
speed it up.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
cheating. We
There
did
was
that
one
back in the day.
kid-
We raw dog that. Like what?
Well, who knows what it's confirmed who was actually cheating or not? But one guy who was really high ranked at it, he was cheating.
Yeah.
Really high ranked.
Yeah.
Love
Just
that.
sped it up after he recorded it.
Nothing screams I peaked in high school more than being ranked in Guitar Hero 2024. I love that. What else?
I was gonna say, closing out the show, we could hit another sales tip, or Will, do you have anything to say about your 2 openings?
Yeah.
Are you're doing MSP? How's MSP going?
Yeah, I mean, I feel very comfortable with that. I think that's the world that I thrive in the best. But yeah, I would really love a couple more clients to make some money for. We got 2 of them green in a week.
Yep.
Let's see if we can get the other 2 green this week.
Yep.
I mean, hey, if we got 2 more, then you never know what happens there.
For those watching at home who might be thinking about working with us, watching this podcast, getting it green, it means we hit our monthly minimum for results. And these guys did it for a few of their clients here in their first week or 2. And so they still have to finish contractually. We owe you 400 dials. So, 3 appointments for IT customers is the minimum per month. And these guys did that in just a couple of weeks, in some cases in a single day.
From home.
From home.
Yeah.
In the ice, not in the fire, but in the ice.
I'll take the ice any day.
Yeah, me too.
That's it. That's a wrap, Matt.
Yeah,
End
that's
it
a
there.
wrap.
Fire and ice,
Let's
baby.
do it.
Yeah.
Bang.
Which reminds me of Jackbox.
That's
Yeah.
I love it.
Bingo.